You carefully tread another 10 minutes down the trail before seeing another clearing dimly lit in torchlight. I assume you gather at the verge to see what it contains and plan your actions. You observe a dark clearing about 50 feet in diameter. The far side is lit by a small fire burning low. Standing near the fire in front of what appears to be a small cave entrance are two hooded human-sized figures with the sides of their cloaks pulled back behind broadswords. These are clearly dangerous men.
I whisper to the gang. Okay. I will prepare and cast thorns on the leftmost guy, and Burden, you aim and shoot him with your crossbow just in case. Safa, I am pretty sure you can handle the second guy with a couple of arrows. Tefri, if either one is still standing, be ready to charge over and finish them.
Growl.
The others nod their agreement to this plan. We will roll for initiative after these actions are carried out since the hooded figures seem unaware of your presence currently.
I fumbled.
I got him.
Booyah.
The two hooded figures fall pierced with arrows and a bolt. Tefri charges across the clearing. Jasa, your spell backfired, spreading thorns around the glade that will foster and creep, and in future days this will be known as the Thorny Glade.
Good work. Let's get to that cave and save Anna. We can deal with these bodies later.
When you arrive at the campfire, you can hear the faint sound of demonic chanting coming from the cave entrance. Whatever is causing it cannot be too far down the tunnel. The cave here is only wide enough for one at a time.
Stand back, all of you. No one knows caves like I know caves, and I can see in the dark. I load my crossbow and enter into the cave mouth. Narrator, what do I see?
In your dark vision you see a short passage to an iron-bound door, crudely fashioned to close off the cave beyond.
With my crossbow at the ready, I cautiously walk to the door and gently test whether it is locked or not.
The door is not locked. You see an unclasped padlock hanging from a peg by the door.
I quietly follow Burden with a light spell ready.
I will notch an arrow and quietly follow Jasa.
Tefri, go last. I ease the door open and peer inside.
You observe a small chamber about 60 feet in diameter with the floor gradually sloping like a bowl to the center where a crude, dark-stained altar sits. On the altar is the naked form you recognize as Anna, Ulf's daughter. Standing over her with a raised wicked-looking dagger ready to plunge is a man in a dark hooded cloak. The chanting begins to rise in volume.
I fling the door open and fire my crossbow at the man standing over Anna, yelling, "Thy foul deeds are at an end."
Since you stated you were keeping your crossbow ready to fire, I will allow a disadvantaged shot before we roll initiative.
I will use my hero point to re-roll that shot.
You miss the cultist leader.
Stupid crossbow.
We will now roll initiative. Even though you are not aware of what Bordin saw before he charged through the door, as soon as you all enter you observe the chamber and the hooded figure standing over Anna with a knife. The chamber is also filled with 6 more hooded figures whirling to face your threat.
I drop my crossbow and draw my axe as an action and then wade into the fray swinging my battle axe while yelling, "Die you foul fiends."
Bordin, that should have been a disadvantaged roll since you moved that second action. Don't try that again or I will penalize you.
My bad, I got carried away.
Teferi kill closest cloaked monsters. Growl.
The cult leader draws a scroll and reads it. Nothing seems to happen, he must have failed.
I follow Teferi through the door and fire at the leftmost enemy target with my last action.
He falls pierced by your arrow. Teferi is hit for 3 damage, but his leather armor absorbs 2 of it. Teferi, you are hit for 2 more damage.
Growl.
Ha, can't hit me.
I follow Burden through the door and cast a thorn spell at whomever I see that looks like the source of Burden's rage. What? I think I am going to need therapy after this.
Time to lop off some heads. There goes one head at least.
Rip and shred. Haha. Rip and shred.
The cult leader concentrates on the scroll and then completely fails again.
At least I am not the only one who can't do magic.
Ignoring the slow cultist next to me, I am going to fill that cult leader with arrows.
Two shafts suddenly appear in the chest of the cult leader. With a look of total shock, he drops his scroll and falls behind the altar. Sarfa, the cultist, makes the most of your inattention and stabs you for 3 damage.
Ooh, still worth it.
I will cast thorns on the last cultist, with both actions. I should probably just reroll an archer.
Do not feel too bad, lass, I cannot hit nothing either.
That is why you have bear.
Anna is unconscious but seems otherwise unhurt, aside from a small laceration between her breasts, most likely caused by the tip of the dagger. When she is awakened, she can tell you little aside from hooded men charging into the kitchen, stabbing her father, and then things went black.
I give Anna my bedroll to cover herself. Let's drag those two bodies outside in here, collect our loot and experience, check for armor and weapon depletion, and lock this chamber back shut. We can then take Anna back to her people at the village.
Upon examining the chamber and the bodies, it is clear this was some sort of cult intent on summoning an evil denizen from either hell or the nightmare realm. One of the hooded figures looked familiar. With a shock you recognize him as Halfton, a local farmer you have seen in the village. Everyone gets 5 experience for completing this quest and saving Anna. Bordin and Tefri need to roll a d6. On a 1 result you lose 1 armor point until repaired. Looks like both your armor is fine. Now for the loot. After dragging the bodies inside and checking them and the chamber for loot, you find the following. I will pull up the parcel to divide. You find a total of 32 gold coins. You find 2 broadswords and 3 daggers in decent condition. You also find a gem that will need to be appraised to determine its value. You find a half-gallon jug that smells like honey mead. You find a high-quality leather suit that has no movement or maneuver penalties. You also find the cult leader's scroll. It is a scroll of protection. Too bad for him, he never got it cast.
Finally, we get some decent loot. This is so exciting. Even if I suck at being a mage.
I will take that leather armor. Anyone else want it? Speak up. Thanks, guys.
I will hold on to the weapons and the gem until we can sell them.
Tefri only want honey drink. Jasa you take scroll, maybe you cast it okay.
Guys, we need to find a place to rest up, formulate a plan. Something weird is going on, and not just in this village. We have never visited this village yet. The narrator acts like we know all these people. We clearly have a past that none of us remember. I simply wish to meet you all in the inn, after running from the GM and the cemetery, and there we all were at the Sassy Wench Tavern. I don't even know Ulf and Anna, but yet we all somehow know them. Regardless, we must see this through, and a visit to that dead fellow's farm should be our next move.